No, I'm gonna drift day tomorrow.
Can one say, this is a bit dangerous, let's not go on the drift day? We can two say, it's still gonna send it, let's just go on the drift day. I have asked a professional drifter, Ollie Evans, so let's take it to Ollie Evans and see what he thinks about this.
Yeah, be f***ing sound boy.
Thank you, Oliver Evans. Good morning, people. Good morning, amazing people. So if you see the last episode, we actually managed to pick up a spare axle for the Mustang. We took it apart and we re-welded it, and we actually took the diff out this time, so we actually managed to see you know, the whole axle and what condition it was in. And that axle was actually off a Cobra. Now, although the crown wheel and the pinion were in really good condition, there was one carrier bearing which really wasn't good, but we had no choice. We had to just throw it back in, get it welded and put the axle back together. Now today we're actually putting that axle in the car, so I'm so intrigued to see what it drives like, because the one in the car now is like, it's ruined. We're when we take it off, we're actually going to take it apart and show you how bad it is, because I'm intrigued as well, because since we last had it apart, it's gone like 10 times worse. Honestly, it's undrivable right now. It sounds like the rear end's going to fall out of the car. So we're going to put the new axle in it. We just need to put some oil in and everything like that. So we're going to swap the axles over. I've actually got some new arms that we're going to install as well, hopefully if the bolts fit. And then we're going to start the process of actually rebuilding the other axle. I don't know how easy it is to rebuild normal diffs on normal cars, but to rebuild an axle on this, just to put the ring and the pinion in, which are the gears, it's a 31-page PDF. And we're going to give it a go. I've actually ordered some Ford Racing 4:10 ratios, which are super short ratios, and it realistically should make the car feel double the power. So I can't wait to do that whole series of rebuilding that diff, and I know that you guys are excited for that as well. But for now, we've actually got a drift day tomorrow. We need to swap the axles over and make sure it bloody drives. So let's crack on.
Okay, so here's the new axle. I've just took the ABS sensors out. That's on that side, and this one's on this side. I've managed to get the little screw off. Someone put thread lock on like a little tiny 6mm bolt, but we just need to get these ABS sensors spinning, and hopefully once they're spinning, they should be able to get them out. Okay, the ABS sensor isn't out, but as you can see, it is no more. So we need to top up the oil. We've drained all the oil out, so there's a little 3/8 there. I'm worried that this is going to come off or not, because I know how long this has been sat. Now there's discrepancies on the internet of what oil this takes. Some people are putting 75-90 in, some people are putting like 90-130. The general consensus is whatever oil you can fucking find, put it in, it's fine. It's a welded diff, who really cares? So I've just got some 80-90 from Halfords. I think it takes like 2 litres. So we're banging 2 litres now. Come on. Oh, that's dead easy. Oh, not even scared, mate. Not even worried about it.
Not even worried about it.
Of course, we only use the best oils for the Mustang diff. So, of course, we've gone for Lucas oil. Right, I think I'm just going to just bang 2 litres in. Everyone online says like 2 litres in a little bit. Okay, let's get this jacked up. Get the axle off. I've done this about 5 times now, so I know exactly how to do it. And I can't wait to put the axles side by side and show you the difference in play between the two. And hope that these new lower arms that I've got actually fit. And while we're off as well, while we've got those lower arms off, I'm going to underseal the bit where it got welded not so long ago.
Just as we was jacking the car up, my Rock Auto parcels turned up, meaning this is the full rebuild kit for the diff, and my gears are just in that box there, so we have everything to rebuild the diff. So I'm super excited. So I'll show you what we've gone with and what's in here. Got a little unboxing video here. Boom! So this is all we need. So we've got a reusable gasket, which is cool to have, and then we've got all the bearings, new bolts, we've got the shims here, we've got the crush sleeve, we've got the pinion sleeve, we've got a new bolt, all the race bearings in the races. Yes, so that is everything that we need with the gears to fully rebuild the whole diff, and we're going to have all the power, baby. In fact, while we're here, I'm going to put all the diff stuff in one box, because we're going to be getting out the arms anyway. So all the diff stuff is in here. So you can see here's my got some new arms off a guy from the Facebook page, much better than the ones that I've got on there at the minute. I'm pretty sure they're just max speeding rod ones, and these bushes are actually attached to the inner bush, which is good. Mine are not. So here is the new pinion. Remember, I keep talking about the pinion in the old videos. that is a pinion. So the prop shaft basically bolts to this. So you've got the engine over there, your gearbox, prop shaft, pinion, and then this spins the crown wheel. So that's your pinion, and this is your crown wheel. Now these and the pinion are what you get your 4:10 ratio gears. So I'm pretty sure this is a lot smaller than the one we've got in there at the minute. So it will turn more. I believe that's how it works, but this is your crown wheel, and then that connects to your diff, and then your diff sends power to the wheels. Right, so the car's jacked up. I'm not going to go over how to remove the axle, so I've done it a few times now, but basically I'll give you a quick overrun. You've got to take the brakes off first, so the calipers off, and then you've got to take the strut bolt off, the lower control arm bolt off there, and there's 2 bolts at the top of the diff, and the whole thing will drop. We're actually taking out the arms as well, so hopefully we won't have that much issue with the exhaust in the way. Hopefully not. It's pretty simple, to be fair. And then we're going to clean up. If you remember getting the box sections re-welded in there where the lower control arm goes in, we're just going to give them a wire brush, and we're going to put a ton of underseal on. But first of all, I'm going to make sure when we take these bolts off that these bolts go through our new arms first and foremost. Right, I also forgot to tell you, you need to take the prop off as well. It's like 412 mils. But here she comes. I think, oh, I've got to just help her off the top arms. Here she is. Okay, so this is the one we just took out, and this is the new one. The one we just took out, got in and out play. See that? And listen to this. Look at the amount of backlash there. Look at that. Okay. This one, no in and out play at all. Let's do the difference in that. So. And not only the diff, look at the difference between these arms. See the bush here? Right, look at that. Look at the plate in that bush. And look at this one. Absolutely solid. So the whole car is just going to feel so much tighter and less rackety. Like I can literally pull the bush out of that. These are like new arms as well, by the way. I did complain on eBay, but they're like, oh, we'll just send you a free inner bush. Like, what's that going to do? So yeah, don't get these arms. If you're a Mustang owner and you see these arms on eBay, these 90 quid ones, I mean, if you're in a situation where I was, where these arms were like 10 times better than the welded bushes that were on there, then yeah, get them, but like they don't last long. I reckon this happened like maybe after a month. So these arms are going to feel so much better. So let's take these arms out of here. Let's underseal all this up, clean this up, underseal it. Last time we only just painted it, so we'll wire wheel in there, get some underseal in there, let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll start installing the new axle. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so we've got some underseal here. I've just wire brushed it off and just coated it in a ton of underseal. So we're gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna start doing the other side. We'll take the other arm off, do the exact same, and just to stop those metal plates from rusting. We did put a lot of paint on, but obviously paint isn't as strong as this stuff, so layer it on, boys. So you can see it's just starting to pick up some surface rust here and stuff. So what we're gonna do is just get a wire wheel. I'm just gonna clean that off, and then we're gonna underseal over it, let it dry, and then let's send it. Okay, so both sides, both box sections are all cleaned up and undersealed. So we're going to wait for them to dry. We are going to do this to the whole car as well. The actual car is actually quite good. There's obviously some bits of surface rust, but the whole chassis is actually really solid. Considering it's come from Texas as well, you know, it's not that surprising. It has lived quite a long time in the UK, so that's why it's picked up its surface rust. But as a chassis, it's actually really good, to be honest. There's obviously a few bits here in the floor pan which look bad, but everything is like super solid. It just really needs a clean off and a whole underseal, which we are going to do. And as you notice, that is literally the only bad bit of the whole chassis. You know, like all the legs are like literally fine, just little bits here like surface rusty, but you know, it's actually really good. All the floor's fine, the legs are fine. And it's the weirdest little chassis on these Mustangs because they don't really have a chassis leg which goes all the way down the middle of the side. It's literally just the floor pan. So you can see this is where obviously people have been jacking the car up in its life, and that's why it's gone like that. It's just took that coating off, and it's the same on the other side. And you can just see the front as well over there, just where someone's, you know, there's no sill, there's no actual proper sill of the car. So it's a really hard car to jack up, to be fair, especially if you want to just get one side up. You kind of just got to go off these bits here where I've got the jack stand now. But some people in the past have obviously just been going off the sill. They've flattened the sill out, or the sill, and then obviously that's just caused a little bit of rust here. But she good, boys, and I am going to underseal it all because for how much I got this car for, I can't really see me ever getting rid of it unless I'm in a situation where something, you know, different or weird pops up, or I'm in a situation where I have to, because what this car cost me, I'm never ever going to find a left-hand drive manual V8 Mustang ever again for the same price. So one thing we're going to do while that is drying, we're going to swap over these counterweights at the front. So if you see these weights here on the diff, I don't exactly know what they are, but I know they are a weight, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to stop the axle from wanting to twist up when you're on power. So we're going to change off this, we're going to put this weight on our old axle. But again, oh my god, look at that. Okay, so I'm still waiting for the box section to dry a little bit, just because if I start chucking these arms in, it's going to actually ruin it. Now, although these are going to be tight, it is going to take a little bit of the underseal off anyway. Oh no, they're going a lot easier actually. Oh cool. Oh, that's all right then. I'll let it dry a little bit anyway. Let's put the axle back in. It's a bit of a pain, it's a bit of a wiggle, but the main thing is just getting it straight on the jack. If it's straight on the jack and it's going up, like not like that, the hardest thing is just getting the top bolts in for the diff. Once they're in, the rest is actually pretty easy. So the main thing is getting these in first. You've just got to line up the top two diff ones. Once they're in, you can kind of be a bit more aggressive. Lovely, there's one. We've got an issue, guys. So I've put the disc back on, and the pads are sticking way further out. Look at that. So my only guess is that they have bigger rear discs. That's my only guess, is that they've got bigger rear discs. Which, like, if you see, you know, we're nowhere near. Okay, so I'm 99% sure, well actually I'm 100% sure that the Cobra discs are bigger. No, I'm gonna drift day tomorrow. It's not the worst thing, it's not like a drift day I've booked onto. I'm going down seeing the Science of Drift again, and just jumping onto one of his days. Now he's doing Wednesday and Thursday, so potentially if I can ring the right people and ask the right questions, I might be able to get some discs next day out to me tomorrow, meaning I can go on the drift day on Thursday. Worst case, I could just be bodge and just go like this. Now maybe a third of the pad is missing. It is extremely bodge, and I wouldn't recommend doing that, but drifting comes first. And it is only going to be for like one drift day. We hardly use the rear brakes, just a hydro, and I know that sounds like hydroing is a lot, but hydroing really doesn't burn much pad out at all. It's just a quick bang, and then, you know, you're sideways and you're not really using much brake pressure. My question now is that I've just asked in the Mustang page, because I need the bigger discs, obviously, does that now mean I need the Cobra calipers and the Cobra carriers, which obviously this is the caliper and that's the carrier? Do I now need them as well, or would the Cobra discs just work with the caliper? I'm hoping that they do. I mean, everything bolts up. It's just obviously it's just way too small. If you look where the pad sits, we are covering quite a bit of material still, but obviously just nowhere near enough. So obviously I will be able to drive it like this. It's not ideal at all long term, but the car's not immobile. At least I'll be able to maneuver the car and park over the road or get it off the driveway or whatever. But do I really want to risk going on a drift day with that? I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Okay, with this predicament, we can do three things. We can, one, this is short term by the way, we can, one, say this is a bit dangerous, let's not go on the drift day. We can, two, say fuck it, still gonna send it, let's just go on the drift day. Or we can, three,
put everything back together, go for a drive, see if it breaks. If it doesn't break, then go on the drift day. Now, to help with these one of three things, I have asked a professional drifter, Ollie Evans. So let's take it to Ollie Evans and see what he thinks about this.
Yeah, be fucking sound boy.
Thank you, Oliver Evans. What we're going to do is we're going to put it back together, go for a drive, rip the hydro a few times, and see if it's fine. If it's fine, we're still going to send on the drift day tomorrow. I've also realised that not only do I need a disc, I need a caliper and pads as well. No! Oh, right, I think, that's what I think anyway. For my quick research, that's the thing. I put it on the SN95 page. Let's see who responds. For now, let's just put it back together. So we're going to go for a drive and see what it feels like anyway. As you said, we're only, I'd say 2/3 of the pad is making contact. So you shouldn't rip the pad out. But we never know. Right, so we've got the brakes on. What's a good test we're going to do is we're going to just pull the hydro and lock the hydro and come and see the pads. If the pads are pressing evenly on here and they're not kind of like warping and like pulling back, we'll be sweet. So let's go and pull the hydro and lock it nice and tight. Right, hydro's locked. Nah, they're sweet then, boys. They're flat against the disc. Now we're gonna have to pull the hydro a lot harder because it's not gonna lock as hard. It's not obviously not got as much pad, but that means we've just got to go faster. Faster means less hydro. Full send, boys. We're not scared. Let's go and take it for a drive first. Maybe we're a little bit scared. So the brakes feel fine. It is so much quieter. Oh my god, it is so much quieter. And neutral. Oh my god. I'm gonna really tell on the motorway tomorrow, because on the motorway is when it really makes the whining noise, but I can usually tell in like third and fourth. Anytime it's get like 30 mile an hour, you can hear it going, but it's really quiet. It's not as quiet as the new one will be, because obviously that bearing isn't that good. But like, there's like no whine. You'd like feel a whine, or you'd hear a whine all the time. Oh my god, it's so much nicer. The hydro does work, it's just I've got to pull it really hard. I've just got to get a lot more speed really, and then, so it does work, which is good news. Yes! So it's at a dual carriageway here. If you remember the PLV driving videos, what it used to sound like, it used to be so noisy. And at 70 it used to get even worse. So we'll probably know tomorrow, but that is a massive, massive improvement. It feels nicer, it don't feel as clunky. It just feels smoother, and it's definitely quieter. So I'm happy with that, and we are gonna go on the drift day tomorrow because I'm confident that the pads are fine. We will burn through the pads a little bit quicker, but it don't really matter because when we get the Cobra calipers and stuff, we're gonna need new pads anyway. Everything is here now to do the rebuild on our other axle, and we can't wait to do that. So for now, guys, gonna end the video here. I'm gonna go and get this edited for you and get it up. I love you all, and we'll just turn the corner. Why does it take so long? I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.